Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am really excited to be filming for a couple of reasons. One of them being I'm using my actual camera to film. I've actually had this camera for like 3 or 4 years. I just never really used it for filming because I didn't think it was that great. I feel like this camera is more for like photography rather than video, but I just recently picked it up and just kind of like started messing around with it, and I actually really like it, so I'm really excited to be filming with it. And then I also found a video editing program that I am learning, and it's fairly easy, kind of a little bit, but I'm just really excited to like film. And then the other reason being that I've gotten quite a few DMs from people that I know that have been asking me, you know, like, how do you like IUPUI? What's the campus like? How are the classes? And, you know, just things like that. So I've actually wanted to do this video for a while now, and so I thought, why not just do it? Now's a good time. So there are a couple things that I just kind of like want you to keep in mind, like a little disclaimer, if you will. What I'm going to be talking about is strictly, mostly my opinion. I definitely wouldn't make your decision to come here not based on just my opinion. I definitely talk to other people if you know somebody else that comes to IUPUI. And I'm going to try not to go super in depth about IUPUI, even though my outline that I have right in front of me is like 4 pages long. I'm just going to mention the things that I think are important, or just things that I want to mention, I guess. I don't know. So if you like this video and you want videos more like this, I actually do want to make more college videos, so then definitely let me know down in the comments. And let's see, don't mind the background. It's not cute, I know, but the tripod that I actually have my camera on right now is like massive and it won't fit on my desk, so this is what we're dealing with right now. So enough of me rambling. Grab a snack, grab a drink. It might be a lengthy video, even though I'm trying not to make it a long video. Let's just get into it. First thing that I'm going to talk about is the actual campus. In my opinion, the campus is not that big, but it's also not that small. If I had to compare it, if you've ever been to Purdue University or IU East, I would say it is right in the middle of there. Personally, I think IUPUI is a pretty good size because you don't have to walk like a really far distance to get to your class. I mean, there are some classes that I have that are kind of a long walk, but I don't really mind it personally. So I live in the second farthest dorm hall, and then I have a class that is right on the edge of campus, and it takes me about 15 minutes to get there, to walk there if I feel like walking. Now that being said, you don't have to Uber to a class. I know some students at IU Bloomington have actually had to Uber to their class because it's that big of a campus, but you don't really need to do that here. There are electric scooters all around the city as well as on campus that you can rent and actually like use them to get to class. We also have shuttles on campus, so you can take one of those to get to your class, well, the nearest spot to your class, I guess, I don't know. And we also have a shuttle that runs from downtown Indy to IU Bloomington, which I don't know if you need to go to IU Bloomington, you can take that. So IUPUI is located like right downtown of Indianapolis, and that being said, it's like a 30-minute walk to get to downtown, which downtown has a lot of stuff, obviously, like shopping, eating, coffee shops, all that good stuff. And we have something here called Massachusetts Avenue, also known as Mass Ave, and that little strip of road is mostly known for the really nice restaurants, and I know there's like a dog bakery, which I really want to go to with Caleb, and there's also a macaroon shop. Also, if you get tired of like eating the food on campus, you can take a 10-minute walk to Indiana Avenue and 11th Street, and right there is a bunch of restaurants. There's so many. There's like Qdoba, Chipotle, News and Company. There's even some Indian restaurants, a sushi restaurant, pizza. Let's see. And we have something here called Lincoln Square Pancake House, which is a breakfast place, which is super amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend. Some other neat kind of things about campus is that we have these water bottle filling stations. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'll throw up a picture in case, I don't know. But I'll throw up a picture so you know what I'm talking about. It's basically a water machine where you put your water bottle right underneath it and the water automatically comes out and fills up your water bottle, which is actually like something that's really handy because I don't really like tipping over my water bottle to fill up the water because, you know, it can only go a certain way. We also just recently got a new recreation center, which I have been to multiple times, and it is actually pretty nice. If you live on campus, it is free for you to use. You just have to sign a waiver. But other than that, if you like commute or just live off campus, it is $50 per semester, which is still really good. And you have that option to put it on your bursar or just pay up front. So moving on, I am going to talk about the classes. So for me personally, there are typically 20 to, I want to say 40 or 50 people in a room. Now, I'm not saying that like there's 50 people in every single one of my classes. It just kind of really depends. Like one of my classes is actually being taught for the first time, so there's only like 10 people in it. But then my lecture class has around 500 people in it, which you will most likely at some point in time, if you decide to come to IUPUI, you will have at least 1 or 2 big lecture classes, which honestly, for me, it sounded super intimidating, like, oh my goodness, 500 people, but really, it's not that big of a deal. In high school, people, like, would actually pay attention, like, if you're here or not, and just, like, be more aware of, like, the people in there, but in lecture classes, everyone's just kind of, like, doing their own thing. They don't really pay attention to, like, who's in the room, necessarily, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So, the majority of the professors and the TAs are super nice and super helpful. I've only had like one instance where I didn't really like my professor, but that's just personal reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But they really do care about how you're doing in their class and will do literally anything to help you pass the course. So for example, in my biology lecture class last year, my professor actually had 2 lectures back to back. And in between those 2 lectures, she would actually like take the time to talk to us who were concerned about their grade in the class or how they did on the test. And I don't know, I think that's just super nice. Like, they don't have to do that, but she did. I can't really say much about the difficulty of the courses. In my opinion, that totally like depends on you. But for me, I have had an equal amount of fairly easy classes, moderately hard classes, and then hard classes. And then obviously there are online courses available to you, but it depends on the class. Not every course has an online version available, if that makes sense. Version? Is that the right word? I don't know. For example, I am taking statistics online, which I 10 out of 10 do not recommend. It is the worst. If you are struggling in a particular class, you have literally thousands of resources available to you. For example, we have several help centers that you can go to. So one is the Biology Resource Center if you're struggling in biology, anatomy, or I think physiology. I think you can go there for physiology. I'm not really sure. We also have a Chemistry Resource Center, and we have something here called the MAC, which is the Mathematics Assistance Center. I don't know, but basically it's for if you're in a math class. And then obviously you can go to professors' office hours, you can email them, you can email the TAs, and you can also join clubs that are specific to a course, kind of. Like we have a biology club, a chemistry club, a physics club, and so on and so forth. So now I am going to talk about the environment, like the overall atmosphere of IUPUI. So within, I think, a week of me being here, I definitely felt like I belonged here. I can't really explain why. It was just like that inner feeling. And a sense of belonging is like something that IUPUI really focuses on. And I feel like you do get a sense of belonging because there is a wide range of different people here. There's so much diversity. It's kind of expected because like it's in a big city, but you know. If you didn't know, I did go to a very small high school where the community was primarily white. So going from that to a school that is so diverse is honestly awesome for me because I personally like to get to know other people and like I get to learn about their culture, and I don't know, it's just like the diversity here just makes me really happy. You do get a very nice view of downtown, especially at night. It is so beautiful, and even the sunsets and the sunrises here are amazing. So something that was like drilled into my brain before I got here was that you have to be safe in Indy, which is 100% true. Like, it's a big city, there are bad people in the world, so you just gotta make sure you're staying safe. But personally, when I am on campus, I feel like pretty safe. Especially like walking at night on campus. I mean, it's a little sketchy, but for me, I don't feel like completely unsafe. And that's mostly because usually there are cops like patrolling the area at night. And then IUPUI also has those emergency kind of tower things. Like, you press a button and the police will come right to your location. And IUPUI also offers Safe Walk, which is basically a free service where if you don't feel safe walking around campus or back to your dorm or whatever, especially at night, the police will actually come and get you where you need to be. So the next thing I want to talk about is sports. Now, depending on who you are, this might be a make or break deal for you because we don't have a football team. And we also don't have a baseball team. So if you're someone that is big into college sports, specifically football, IUPUI might not be the choice for you. I don't know. But I will say that basketball here and soccer, I believe, is super popular around here. I personally have not gone to one yet, but I heard that they're really fun. And don't quote me on this. I don't know if it's 100% true. This is what I've heard. But if you go to a IU Bloomington sporting event, supposedly you get in free because you are technically a Bloomington student and a Purdue student. I don't know if that's the same for Purdue University, but we definitely do have a lot of club sports. I know we have tennis. I think ping pong is actually one of them too. I don't know. Basketball. Yeah, I'm not really sure, honestly. So moving on, I'm going to talk about the food here. I wouldn't say that the food is horrible. I would just say it's very mediocre. So next I'm going to talk about the food here on campus and off campus. So like I said, there are several places in Indy that you can walk to get food if you're not feeling the food on campus. But on campus we have a little convenience store kind of thing called Outtakes, and there are several spots located on campus, and it's not just one spot, and you can like grab a snack, and I think they actually sell like a couple of like convenient stuff like batteries, floss, a toothbrush, things like that. So that's located all around campus. And we actually just recently got something called the Market, which is in the campus center. It's basically like a bigger version of Outtakes. Now in the campus center, which is basically like the main building, I would say, we have restaurants like Chick-fil-A, Papa John's, something called a Girl Nation where it's like you can get a burger. We also have Caribou, which if you've never heard of that, it's basically like Starbucks, but personally I think it's better and kind of cheaper too. And then obviously we have Starbucks. And we also have an Einstein Bagels. Is it a restaurant? Is it a shop? I don't know. But that's located on the farthest building on campus, which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever. So next we have the Tower Dining, which is the main dining hall on campus. That's where you can use your meal swipes at, and it's located within the Tower Residence Hall. The food is honestly, it's not terrible, but it's also not great either. If I had to describe it, I would say it's pretty mediocre. I'm not even gonna lie. When I first got here, the food was honestly not even that great. Like, I would never go to the dining hall, but recently they have honestly really stepped up their game, so cheers to you on that. So in the Tower Dining, there are several stations. There's like kind of like a buffet setup kind of thing. Breakfast is served all day there. There's also a place where you can get what the heck is it called? Stir fry. You can get stir fry in the tower. There's a salad bar, there's like a grill station, and there's also pizza served there. We also have something called the Chancellor's Restaurant, which I can't really say much about it because I've never been in there, but I'm guessing it's just like every other restaurant. And then we also have the Den by Denny's, which is basically just a restaurant, but you can use a couple meal swipes there. They serve breakfast food all day. They have lunch and dinner. I personally like the Chipotle chicken tacos, and the Philly cheeseburger is so good. So I don't know about everybody else, but I personally have not had the greatest experience with like the food workers. Like, I don't want to say they're rude because that's not true. It's more just of they're not very friendly, which I totally understand that because my first job was McDonald's and I honestly hated that job. Every single day that I worked there, I did not want to deal with customers and just people being rude to me, which I totally understand. But so moving on, I'm going to talk about kind of like general dorm life, but more specifically Ball Hall. So there are 4 main dorm halls on campus. There is Ball Hall, which is what I'm in, North Hall, the Tower, and Riverwalk Apartments. So the Tower was basically a hotel, so it is very hotel-like, which personally is not something that I wanted. So didn't choose that one. And North Hall was actually just recently built, I think like 5 years ago, so it's very modernized. It's actually like really nice in there. The only problem for me is that it's expensive. And then Riverwalk Apartments is just like it sounds, they are apartments. So if you have me on any social media whatsoever, you would know that I'm not the biggest fan of Ball Hall. Okay, that's kind of a lie. I really do like it here overall. It's just that my dorm experience could be a little bit better, but it's whatever. So here at Ball Hall, I live in a single, by the way. So here at Ball Hall, every single room is different, which is kind of good, but also kind of bad. It's good in a sense that, I don't know, just like the fact that each room is different makes yours unique. So for example, some dorms are perfectly square, others have an alcove like I do. And then some have wardrobes, some have in-wall closets. So you know where I'm going with that. But it's also kind of bad in that it's hard to buy furniture. Like my mom and I didn't buy most of this stuff until we had actually like moved myself in. So as far as living in a single, which that means I don't have a roommate, I personally like it because for me, I like my personal time. And I don't really have to deal with, not necessarily deal with, but I don't have to deal with a roommate. But I do like my own personal space, especially if I'm hanging out with people the whole day. I will usually just want to come back to my dorm and just relax and enjoy my own time. With that being said, having a roommate is definitely not a bad thing. I know several people that have roommates and they actually like became best friends. So that is something you would want to take into consideration. Okay, so overall, I really do love IUPUI. I love the location, I love the diversity. It's just a really great school for me personally. And I also think that it's the perfect school to transition to if you're coming from a small high school. Like, IUPUI is big, but it's not like that big like Purdue or IU. I feel like personally I would get super overwhelmed if I went to that school, but again, it's personal preference. So like I said, if you have any more questions about IUPUI or just college in general, definitely shoot me a DM or comment the questions down below. Answering people's questions about college is actually something that I am applying to be. So quickly, we have a thing here called O-Team, which is basically the organization that is responsible for helping freshmen transition into college. And I actually have an interview for O-Team next month, which I am super excited for. I'm applying to be a mentor and I am super excited. So I know I didn't talk a lot about as far as like academics and like the different schools we have here, but I feel like that's for another video. But if you want to know more about that, definitely again comment down below and I'll answer it. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, definitely let me know. Give it a like, subscribe, do the usual YouTube things. I don't know, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go eat. I hope you guys enjoy your day, and I will see you guys in my next video.